picked up on the hill in here.
This time, on the Highway Thru Hell.
Over a foot of snow in 2 hours.
A record-setting snowfall.
We can't make it up even this little bit of a hill.
High hazard.
Triggers an avalanche.
You see it? I wouldn't want to be in that. Is it going to hit the road?
You guys have to go around. There's an avalanche.
And a semi over the side.
This is a hard job.
Leaves Jamie hanging.
We're afraid of losing it right now.
Hold on.
In the rugged mountains of the Pacific Northwest, there's a highway like no other. The Coquihalla is an engineering marvel. But when the weather turns bad...
It's like the Bermuda Triangle of truck accidents.
Keeping the Coke open takes an army.
When the highway shuts down, the world shuts down.
And a last line of defense.
En route.
A heavy rescue team ready to tackle any disaster. Because here, closure is not an option. It's been a long 3 weeks.
I didn't want to come up here today.
A series of giant Pacific storms have been sweeping across the Cascade Mountains.
Well, this looks bad.
Everyone is playing catch-up, knowing another big storm is predicted for tonight.
Hey, you're not the only guy in trouble here. So go sit in your truck and we'll deal with you after.
When the weather breaks, the army of plows grab the chance to clear the highways.
It's a lot of work to try and stay a step ahead of Mother Nature.
Broken tire chains now litter the coast and are wreaking havoc with snowblowers.
Chain. Yeah, we got chain wrapped around the drive shaft on one of the paddles. So pick up lots of those.
Gotta be a little bit nuts to work up here. Yeah, well, I guess I'd fit right in.
The break in the weather doesn't give Jamie and his crew a chance to rest either.
There's trucks that have been left in the ditch because of the storms. These things aren't blocking traffic. They were just left to sit there for a while. And now we're gonna get set up and pull them out while we can.
There's so much to do. Jamie doesn't even mind that his nemesis, Al Quiring, has turned up to work the Coke.
Right now, I would say that Al Quiring is the king of the Coke.
A non-stop towing machine.
You know why he's the king of the Coke? Because I let him.
Jamie has had every wrecker in his fleet on the road around the clock for 3 days.
It's minus 23 with wind chill today.
The cold and fatigue are taking their toll.
I feel like I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba. It's so cold.
Okay, tell him, watch him with the brakes, Kevin. Let's pay attention here.
Tiredness is kicking in.
Damn it, you gotta pull!
Then, you know, guys will start fighting and yelling with one another.
Sammy, listen to me. When you don't pull that line, it gets up on the drum.
Here, look at the blowing snow. Look at this. Holy.
Holy cow!
While Jamie's crew struggles with wind in the valley, high up on the mountain ridges just above the Coquihalla Highway, blowing snow has created a serious new hazard.
The top of the peaks have kind of a wave. The snow is blown over the edge, and it blows over it, and it makes what they call a cornice. So it sits there, builds up, it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and eventually gravity just takes it down, and the next thing you know, you have an avalanche.
As long as the wind blows, the cornices will continue to grow into a ticking time bomb.
Brakes on for a minute. Brakes on.
For now, Jamie can't be too distracted by the avalanche risk. He's got trucks to clear and a crew begging for downtime.
You know, always out of the corner of your mind, you're thinking, you know, you're looking up, and you're watching, you're doing your job, and you're thinking about it, and it's weighs heavy on your mind. You know, you're in the kill zone.
The good thing about this deep snow is it's pretty soft and forgiving, so there's pretty much no damage to this guy's truck. And he's gonna be pretty happy about that, so he can pretty much drive it away and take it and go.
After another tough day on the coke, Jamie's crew heads back to base for a much-needed break.
Been a long day, eh, puppy dog? Puppy.
We've been going hard for 3 days, so we need to sleep now.
When you've done a wreck or two in a row, you're pretty beat, and basically you're dragging your ass. It takes you a couple days to recover. We call it wreck lag, kind of similar to jet lag.
But one crew member just keeps going. At 64, Bruce Hardy is Jamie's oldest and most seasoned driver.
Come on.
I worry about Bruce all the time.
There we go.
We sent him on a job not long ago, and we didn't hear from him for 2 days. And we're starting to wonder, you know, is he at some truck stop, you know, passed away? He works his damn ass off. For an older guy, it's a tough deal.
That thing out of my face right now.
Apparently, is the storm blowing over from Clinton or from Clinton to 100 Mile anyway?
Up on the coke, the highways crew knows that their freshly plowed roads won't last for long.
Tommy 5x5, go ahead. We're starting to get snows picked up on the hill in here pretty good. All this stuff is good moderate. Okay, thank you very much, and welcome to the jungle.
Okay, 10-4, thanks.
Derek Kitamura is running the show tonight.
Just gonna go up to Zopkius, brake check, take a look, see what the snow levels are like and the accumulations, and see how hard it's coming down up there.
At just after midnight, the new storm arrives.
15 minutes ago, nothing was happening, and then all of a sudden the skies have opened up. Looks like some trucks are having problems going up the hill.
It's Derek's job to decide when to turn on the signs making chains mandatory for all vehicles on the coke. To keep traffic moving, he'll hold off as long as possible.
What is this trucker doing? Now he's stuck.
But the first spun-out truck makes the decision for him.
Looks like we're gonna put the chain up lights on. We're on our way down.
These are the early stages of what's to come. So hopefully we'll be able to keep things manageable and under control.
At the bottom of the mountain, the pullout for chaining up is overflowing with big rigs. To avoid chaining up, some truckers decide to take a detour.
The Fraser Canyon is often used when the Coquihalla gets really bad because it's closer to sea level. You got less chance of snow and less chance of having to chain up.
Also called Highway Number 1, the Fraser Canyon route is not without its own risks.
The problem with the Fraser Canyon, it's a 2-lane. It's only 1 lane going each way, so if something goes wrong, it's not like the Coke, where you can at least open up a single lane to get traffic through.
Tonight, Highway 1 proves to be even worse than the Coke.
Are we all stopped there? Northbound, we're at a complete stop here. Yeah, they're turning traffic around just outside of Hope there.
A head-on with a semi has taken the life of the driver of a small van, and the road is closed.
It's hard waiting and just thinking about the family of this person. It's very hard.
Adam has been called to open the road.
Just coming on the scene here now.
31 from 30. Yeah, we're good to go.
Just get it straightened out, get it off the road, and deal with it up at the next pullout. Just get her on there any old way.
It'll be a rehook for sure.
We'll rehook it up later on.
The pressure to get the road open is intensified by an even greater risk.
Just been warned by the road area manager that we're getting close to a moderate avalanche risk in the area that we're in.
The growing snowpack up on the peaks has triggered an avalanche warning.
Basically have to move everybody right now. We're not even supposed to be out here.
Okay, thank you very much, and welcome to the jungle.
Yet another blizzard is slamming the Coquihalla Highway. Down in the Fraser Canyon, conditions are even worse. A fatal accident has completely blocked the road.
Just get it straightened out, get it off the road.
To add to the pressure, now there's the threat of an avalanche. Authorities want Adam to get the traffic moving right away.
We're getting close to a moderate avalanche risk in the area that we're in. We have to move everybody right now.
But he still needs to clear the totaled van.
Sure, yeah, that'll do. Hook the hook on that. We don't usually tow cars of this thing, but I'll get it up off the road to the pullout, and then they can start working on the highway. Hopefully it holds together.
At just after 2 in the morning, traffic starts rolling again out of the danger zone. But the fierce storm only worsens.
Yeah, just to be advised, we still have that spun out truck in the southbound lane. Got to go around him.
By morning, it's pounded the Coke with a foot of fresh snow.
Hey boys, how's the Coquihalla doing up there? It's nothing but bad news. Got a foot of snow up there.
For many, even with chains, the battle to get over the mountain is being lost.
It's been good until now. I was crawling through.
Really?
The tires are really crummy, and we can't make it up even this little bit of a hill.
5373.
This is the most snow I've seen in my 5 years.
Every time we go down there and plow it, it's just like we haven't even plowed it, and it's just a matter of making one around.
Everybody go. I can't do anything when you're here.
I'll tell you, it's a good day for jackknives up at the top.
Watch yourself!
At the summit, Adam is pulling a truck that got stuck on the smasher. Until the spun-out vehicles can be moved, the plows will have trouble getting by to clear the snow.
Snow and heavy right through to Princeton.
It's just throwing on one set of chains or chaining them all up.
But for some, the biggest worry isn't on the road. It's high above it.
The more it snows, the more hazard you have. They're worried about slides off these steep slopes here. And if that happens, well, then the highway's totally shut down.
On either side of the Coquihalla Highway, there are long, narrow clearings in the trees. These are old avalanche paths called chutes, marked with evidence of past snowslides.
When you're heading up the Coke and you're driving along and you're looking left and you're looking right and you're watching these chutes come down, it's just like being in a bowling alley, you know, and you never know when that big rolling ball is going to come down and you know, take you out or take out traffic or the highway.
When the highway was first built in the mid-1980s, engineers worked with avalanche techs to wind the road around the avalanche chutes. Where they couldn't, they built a snow shed. It's designed so that an avalanche can pass over the road without stopping traffic. Ed Campbell was one of the AvTechs who helped map out the road more than 30 years ago. Today, he leads a team of avalanche technicians tasked with monitoring the snowpack.
We've had almost 200 centimeters of new snow in this last week and a half. So it's a lot of snow. Even for here, that's a lot of snow.
This year, the Coke is on track to set a new snowfall record. Since the start of the season, enough snow has fallen to bury a 3-story building.
The best indication of avalanches is avalanches. So I'm watching to see if there's any new ones, how big they are, and how far they're running.
Their biggest concern now is all the backed up traffic.
You know, you don't want to be in those zones. You want to be out of the avalanche zone at any price, any cost. You don't want to be sitting there. Dangerous.
We're in a considerable hazard, is what we call it. So we can't have people stopped in the avalanche paths, right? You know, the odds of an avalanche actually hitting a car is kind of low. You know, the majority of the time there isn't a car right at this spot. But on a busier road, the chances go up, and then when cars are stopped, well, if an avalanche ran, the chance is 100%.
Drivers are getting impatient. Some have gotten out of their cars. A foolish move in avalanche country.
When the cars are stuck, the plows can't move, the roads get worse, more cars get stuck. It's a compounding problem. It sort of starts to snowball.
At just after noon, the worsening conditions of the Coke combine with the growing snowpack above to force their hand.
Advised, I just spoke with Department of Highways. They're just issuing a road closure of the Coquihalla due to high avalanche hazard.
Closed. High hazard. Highway's closed.
If the cars had been moving smoothly, we wouldn't have closed. But as soon as we started having multiple areas stopped, multiple clog-ups, you have to factor these things in.
Well, the idea now is to get everyone out.
Highway crews start the slow process of turning vehicles around and sending them back down the mountain. Up top, Adam is rushing to free a stuck semi.
Have them hold his brake for a minute.
Knowing the risk, he wants to get this truck off the highway.
I don't really want to be up here because you never know, eh? This is an avalanche area, so I don't really want to be sitting here if one happens.
But 10 minutes later, Adam runs out of time.
We got a runner here, I think. See that big one? You see it?
Oh, look at that. I wouldn't want to be in that.
There's full length trees in there.
Yeah. Because that's a pretty big spot. You're going to hit the road.
A record-setting snowfall has closed the Coke, and the silence has just been shattered.
We got a runner here, I think.
By the low rumble of an avalanche.
You see it?
No, look at that.
Closing the Coke paid off. But now, even road crews have to get off the highway.
These vehicles must be out of here right now. Everybody go. Here, Ron, an avalanche came down right there at the chain up.
You see that? Holy crap. They got slammed here pretty hard, boy. Holy.
You guys have to go around. There's an avalanche.
They just had an avalanche go across the road at the brake check.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right across the whole road?
They say a big cornice came down to both slope out. It was a big deposit. The hazard is now high.
So they're going to close the road for indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
That's a 2.5-hour drive to get home now.
The avalanche crew investigates the area where the snowslide reached the highway.
The highway's closed until we can see what's going on at high. It's speculation at this point, but it's probably cornice failure.
If one cornice has failed, there's a good chance more will follow. Eliminating this danger and getting the Coke reopened is now up to Ed and his crew. Their plan is to give Mother Nature a little nudge.
We're going to try to start off our control today with a shot or two right near the Coquihalla summit.
Marked out in red ink, these are the start zones for the big slides.
You and the other crew can go to the summit.
There's lots of ways to do explosive avalanche control. Cannons, avalanche guns, shooting the projectile. There's hand charging, there's helicopters throwing them out the door.
But for this mission, their tool of choice is an explosive.
Nothing gets you feeling more alive than having lit dynamite inside the helicopter.
Their plan is to fly above the ridge and to drop explosives directly on the built-up cornices, triggering a controlled avalanche.
We want to go as high as we can on the start zone. You start something low down, there's still a potential of some of the deposit being higher up yet. And you want to try to get it all.
But when they get in the air, they hit a new problem.
What's visibility like, Colin? Not great.
Low-lying clouds are making it impossible for them to reach their targets.
Fuse is split.
They decide to drop their explosives anyway,
And start it away.
hoping they might break a cornice loose from below.
There's one there. The first one. No result. Hard. I was hoping it would knock that cornice off.
The bombs trigger a few minor avalanches, but don't budge any of the higher cornices.
Yeah, not pulling out any slab below.
No. No, we gotta go in. Back to the barn. Yeah. Bummer.
The avalanche risk remains high, and so the coke remains closed.
If you want to turn around here and go back to boat.
Back at the yard, there's no rest for the weary.
Who told you to do that?
Jamie is in a hurry to chain up one of the older trucks for an emergency job. A stuck snow grader is blocking the only access road to the town's water supply.
If this job isn't handled properly, you know, the town's out of water.
Jack it up more. Come on. Jack it up. Hurry up. Well, they're waiting. They're waiting.
So when it's time to move, they gotta move.
Fast as you can go. This a 24 or 22?
Doesn't look like it.
Is it the wrong size? No reason for this thing not to be chained up right now.
I don't care what's going on. If you don't pull your weight, go home.
Jamie isn't the only one who's impatient. The truck's driver is eager to stop fussing and start towing.
They gotta get their together, everybody. A lot of these new guys can't keep up the hours that the rest of us can. 64, I can go 36, 52 hours without sleep, doesn't bother me.
He's a heavy smoker and not the fittest, you know, but he holds his own. He does.
Back down or drive down?
Back down.
Because the road is too narrow to turn around at the top, Bruce has to back his way in for 1.5 miles.
It's quite narrow and twisty, so be careful.
The risk is that Bruce can't see all corners of where he's going. The truck could go over the edge.
Hang on, Bruce. Slow down. Slow down and get steeper. I think we're home free now, Bruce.
It's not a bad road, I've been on worse.
Far worse. 2 years ago, Bruce's career nearly ended when he was almost killed on the job.
He was pulling a truck out of the ditch. A car carrier comes screaming down the hill, and the trailer hit the tow truck, and Bruce got rolled down the whole length of the tow truck and thrown in the ditch, and the car carrier didn't even stop.
He had a punctured lung, and he was bleeding internally. I know he had broken ribs. He was beat up a lot worse than he thought he was.
After surviving all that, everyone assumed he would retire.
Wish this white would go away.
But one day, 6 months later, Bruce showed up at work. Why he came back
What do you think, Bruce?
is still a mystery.
I've always wanted to ask him why he came back to work, but he doesn't like to talk about it. I don't mind talking about it when I get hurt, but to him, it's a sign of personal failure.
Yeah, that's ancient history.
Right now, Bruce's challenge is getting this grader unstuck.
It's kind of tight in here, and this is a big machine. It's not a small girl, so we're gonna probably pull from here somewhere.
The grader is blocking the entire road, so there's no room to roll it forward or back.
Come on!
We gotta make sure we do the job right. It's a job that I need to finesse. I need to be there, and I need to make sure that it's babysat the whole way. Well, it's gonna drag on there a little bit, so it's gonna be tougher than you think. Slow but sure, eh?
To free it, Bruce will need to lift the front end carefully and swing it onto the road without flipping it. A tricky maneuver that requires delicate hands.
Truck's lifting up a little bit. It'll come.
But Bruce doesn't do delicate.
He's the typical guy where you just hook a chain onto it and you start pulling or start dragging, and watch out.
It's gonna be tougher than you think. So slow but sure, eh?
Jamie's oldest driver, 64-year-old Bruce Hardy, has a motto: when the pullin' gets tough, the tough keep pulling.
I knew that was gonna happen. Bruce, he'll just do what he wants to do regardless of what you tell him to do. You know, he's his own guy.
Bruce's hook slipped off, but nobody's hurt, and the grader is out of the ditch.
Job done good, no damage whatsoever. There's no way in hell Adam would have got in here.
Take it and go.
Take it and go.
He'll get the job done. He'll do it his way, though.
The Coke has now been shut down for going on 6 hours. Truck drivers that can't wait for fairer weather have no choice but to take the alternate routes.
Now you can go Highway 1 or Highway 3,
Highway 3 is an old 2-lane road that wasn't designed for today's high-powered rigs. Winding and narrow, it's the route of last resort. Shortly before midnight, one unlucky truck driver finds out why.
When the truck went in the ditch there and trapped the occupants of the vehicle, we call it search and rescue.
The driver, his wife, and their pet dog were trapped in the cab for over an hour before being rescued.
It just took off on him. He couldn't brake, he couldn't do anything. Couldn't steer out of it or nothing.
Adam is out of bed and on scene just after 3 a.m.
Luckily, he didn't go down much further, or else he would have rolled into the creek.
The loaded semi is teetering on the edge of a steep cliff. In this darkness, it's in too precarious a position to risk a recovery.
Just all the hidden dangers that we can't see right now.
Adam decides there's nothing more he can do for now.
I think we'll just pack her up and get the hell out of here and wait for some more daylight and extra help.
By morning, the storm has passed.
Get your seatbelt on.
Today, Jamie is going to help Adam recover last night's wreck.
Good day for a wreck, eh?
Yeah.
He brings along 8-year-old James Jr.
James is not at school today, and you're gonna learn how to be a wrecker guy?
Maybe.
That's where we're going, is our accident.
The truck went off the edge after hitting ice on a hairpin turn. Adam is already on scene.
These people are lucky to be alive. I mean, they're hanging off of a cliff here that's 650 feet down. This is a hard job.
What makes the job hard is that the loaded trailer is almost completely undamaged, and Jamie intends to keep it that way.
Like, I can get in here and lift this trailer, no problem, then what? How do we hang onto this front end, right? It's not that we couldn't pull this out.
No.
Another option is we try to disconnect it, but there's a lot of pressure on that pin, and it's probably highly unlikely we're even going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to have another rotator here.
You think so?
Yep. We need another rotator right on the front end of this truck to do the least amount of damage.
2 rotators with their 2 boom arms extended out over the cliff could lift the 40-ton semi without damaging it.
Pick the whole thing up and bring it up over this bank. Come on, James. We're gonna phone Uncle Jason to come and give us a hand here with this one.
Is he gonna get paid though?
Of course he'll get paid. You don't think he should be paid?
No.
No?
Jamie's brother, Jason, runs his own heavy rescue business, but he and his rotator are 2 hours away. Just a few miles to the north, the Coke has now been closed for over 20 hours due to a high avalanche risk. The truck stop in the town of Hope is crowded with drivers, eager to know when the highway will reopen.
See, if the truck ain't rolling, I don't make money. But there's nothing you can really do about it. Last I heard, they were gonna assess it 9 o'clock this morning and let us know what time they would reopen the road.
Today, the clouds have lifted.
All ready in the back? Ready? Lifting. Okay. Back in the air, 2 on board. Okay, where are we going? In behind us there?
Yeah, to the left, yeah.
Okay.
Just about our level here there now.
They close in on the biggest cornice, packed with tons of overhanging snow.
Say the word.
Now they've got to drop a bag full of explosives smack on top of it.
Okay, are you ready there, Paul?
Yep, I'm all set.
Igniter's on. Igniter's on.
And fuse lit.
Fuse is lit.
Stop the wind.
Okay, let's go high. You have a visual?
Are we gonna get air blasted here?
The Coquihalla Highway has been closed for over 20 hours. To get it open, high-flying AvTechs need to blow apart snow-packed cornices.
Okay, are you ready there, Paul?
Yep, I'm all set. Fuse lit.
Fuse is lit.
Stop the wind. It's stuff, no problem.
I like it. Okay, let's go high.
Looks like another slab went. Coming out there. Yeah.
Those are good ones.
Right, I'm gonna get an award for this one. Awesome target selection.
Yeah, the target selection was what the count is, yeah?
Bullseye.
Yeah, that's the object of the exercise.
We're gonna go stop the water and houses.
Inform.
For almost a day now, the highway has been closed to all vehicles. No traffic, no plows, and 6 inches of fresh snow. The challenge of getting the Coke reopened is now in the hands of Blair Barr.
So I'm just gonna hop out and take a look.
Clearing this much snow would normally take 8 hours. Blair and his team have to do it in 4.
Hopefully the plow truck will be able to make it up the hill. With this heavy, wet snow, it'll be a tough push.
The hazard's been reduced to moderate. We can work right through the whole zone now.
Okay.
Pressure to get the road open is enormous.
You have millions of dollars in equipment and cargo stopped.
This is a main corridor feeding Vancouver to the interior of BC. So any delays in opening this highway really do create a lot of complications for a lot of different people.
To meet a 4 o'clock deadline, snow removal crews are throwing in everything they've got. Over on Highway 3, Jamie's brother Jason has finally arrived with his rotator.
That's your cousin.
He's got enough equipment to do it all on his own, just about, so. I'm surprised I got the call.
With the Coquihalla closed, Jamie has no choice but to keep Highway 3 open to traffic.
With these rotators, we're doing the job without blocking the road, so there is no road closure happening here. Just sit it on top here, right on the berm, and then we'll move across one more time and give it one more pull.
The plan is for the rotators to lift the semi from either end, while Adam's truck keeps it from falling any further down the cliff.
I'm going to pull the trailer back as they're lifting, so I need these chains to hook my lines to so I can winch it backwards as they're lifting it up out of the ditch.
But first, they have to rig harnesses underneath the truck.
It's really deep down there, just so you know. Almost had to get search and rescue to pull me up when I was down there the morning it happened.
Alrighty.
I need to pick.
A small stream running under the front of the truck has formed a thick sheet of ice, cementing it to the ground.
Perfect. As long as I break it up, could just poke through on that end, we'll be good.
The 60-degree slope gives Jamie a chance to show off some of his finer moves.
Hang on.
Roly-poly!
Can you get it there?
And 8-year-old James Jr. thinks rigging looks fun.
Hey, you can come. Grab on the cable and pull yourself down. Long ways down, eh? Okay, good. It's enough cable.
Now comes the hard part.
Tell him just to suck up his weight.
Getting back up.
Just remember, it's hard to get back up the bank, right? Go this way. Go around that way. You just stand right there.
An hour later, it's rigged and ready. But there's a big risk. There's no way of telling if the cargo inside has shifted or not.
You can't open the doors in that trailer and find out where the load is, because if you do, you've just, breached the integrity of the box. So you make that guess, you go up there and you hope that that's the right guess.
So Jamie has to gamble on how to balance the load.
And you never know everything. We could end up having a situation where we do have a lot of weight all concentrated in this front end. And if he took a sudden stop or something, we don't know that yet.
If he hasn't found the exact center of gravity, the off-balance trailer could plummet down the canyon, possibly taking one of the rotators with it.
We'll probably have to bring it up, set it back down, and grab the center, right? So we're not going to KO that guy's bumper.
He's going to get something.
Oh, understandable.
I want to save this truck and do less damage to it. I mean, we might get some damage to it coming up, but we're going to try to keep it to a minimal. There's a good possibility if the trailer could break it in half. You don't have X-ray vision to see in that box to see what's going on. There must be a pile of weight in that thing. I want to pick it up a bit more. Go up high, lift it about 3 or 4 feet. I'm gonna boom in a bit, okay? Pulling against each other a little bit.
Okay, pretty soon I'm gonna have to boom out, Jamie. Hold on, hold on.
Stop!
Jamie has called in his brother Jason to help him pluck a loaded semi off the edge of a steep cliff without causing a dime of damage.
So let's go up high, lift it about 3 or 4 feet.
The two rotators have managed to get 40 tons of truck dangling in midair.
Okay, pretty soon I'm gonna have to boom out, Jamie. Hold on, hold on.
Wow.
But now, they've got no place to put it.
So we're afraid of losing it right now. And we don't want to take any chances here. This is a pretty critical thing. Let's get this thing on the ground as quick as we can. So what we want to do is just get it in tight, reset, and do another pick where we're a little more comfortable with it. We're right on an edge here, so it's very possible for this trailer to flip over.
To make room to set the truck down, Jamie's rotator needs to briefly release its grip.
I'll just kind of move ahead a little bit.
He has to move over.
It's unnerving a bit even to us guys who've been in it a long time to have that thing hanging there, so.
Hey, Sammy, you ready?
Just get it in here and on the road.
All right, Jim. Hey, hey, hey. You going down?
Yeah, it's good. It's just beautiful. That's a textbook job. What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We didn't drag the oil pan over a rock. We didn't drag the whole unit up and puncture a hole in the bottom of the trailer. We didn't damage the frame on the truck. That's about as good as you get it in this business.
Back on the Coke, snow crews are racing to meet a 4 o'clock deadline. But the wet, heavy snow is making a tough job even harder.
They don't seem to understand what it takes to do this. You know, like the roads are in bad shape, so if you can only go up and down this highway so fast.
Supervisor Blair Barr is trying to monitor progress on over 50 miles of highway.
Go ahead, Rich.
Sweep to Porsche is complete, southbound. So you're clear end to end.
As time runs out, he gets word that the last stretch of highway is clear.
Okay, everybody, we've opened at 4 o'clock as scheduled.
After 29 hours, the longest closure all season, the Highway Thru Hell is once again open for business.
We're going home on time, eh? You betcha we are.
Back in Jamie's yard, the crew is wrapping up another long day.
That's good there, eh?
Exhausted from battling Mother Nature, Jamie's crew decides to take the night off and enjoy a little sunshine.
First time I've ever seen without cowboy boots on. That didn't work. Maybe it's the shoes.
It's beer time.
As the night winds down, Ken sees a chance to get Bruce to open up about why he came back to work after his accident.
I'm going for another drink.
We go bowling and get some beer in them and then just get some more beer in them. Have some fun. Fun usually makes people talk.
Bruce is kind of a strange guy about talking about things. I guess he figures that if he just leaves things alone, it'll be all right in a few days.
His legion of North American fans want to know more about this crazy, irascible son of a gun.
So do I.
It seems Bruce is finally ready to talk.
I still remember it.
What happened? You're working on the side of the road?
The third hit, I rolled with it. I rolled with it. Not a chance I was checking out yet. They asked me, what do you want to do? I said, what the you think I want to do? I want to go back to work. That's what I know best. I don't like sitting around. Can't make money laying on your ass in the hospital.
You know, he's just one tough old cat, that guy.
He's a warrior. He just pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds. I don't think you can wear that guy out.
I can't believe it. These guys live pretty far down.
Next time on the Highway Through Hell, a small job
It's coming now. Everybody stand back.
turns into a major headache.
Mad.
And a father's dream for his son to join the family business
You interested in maybe learning how to drive?
You can't just do that.
backfires when Brandon has priorities of his own.
What was the problem there while you walked off the job?